I'll start with a recap of what we did last week, and that was on introduction to cryptocurrencies and the types of cryptocurrencies that we do have in the blockchain ecosystem. And we mentioned that we have utility tokens. We have security tokens. And we also differentiated between coins and tokens. And we also said that presentation is taking our time to load. Yeah, so we also took a look at the various functions that a coin must have. We said that there are 9 rules that a coin should have. We say that they are supposed to have the name of the name of the coin, the symbol of the coin. Currency must have a symbol, and it also must have a total supply. It should always have a total supply. And lastly, we say that there are other 6 rules which are mandatory, that they must be available in every coin. Like, they have to be available in every coin. That is the function for approve, function for transfer, and a function for transfer from. Yeah. So let me share my screen, because PowerPoint now has share. Yeah, so there's just a recap of what we did last week. That was module 3, and it was introduction to cryptocurrencies. And so we introduced what they are, what they do, and how they differ from digital currencies. That is something like M-Pesa, how they differ from it, because they really differ, crypto coins. And then we have, so they differ in a way that coins are bootstrapped or are created in the blockchain, and they are actually encrypted through cryptography. Yeah. So in the previous lessons, we learned about cryptography and the types of cryptography that we have. That is the hash, MD5, secure hash algorithm 1 and 2, 5, 6. Yeah. So we also talked about the different tokens, the difference between tokens and coins. And we said that coins refer to any cryptocurrency that has a standalone or independent blockchain. And then we talked about the 2 main cryptocurrency categories: the cryptocurrencies that are used for payment, or as money, and then there are other cryptocurrencies which provide functions other than payment. That is for like platform, accessing a platform. And yeah, then apart from that, we talked about the Celo assets. So Celo has the CU euro and the CUS dollar. And then the benefit of stablecoin is that they are borderless, and that it maintains value, and it doesn't have volatility. So then we got introduced to, or I introduced Web3 technology. That is Web 2. From Web 2, I believe most of us, or most of you, are from Web 2 to Web 3, Web 2. Yeah, and then to understand this, you have to actually know about the various stages of web technologies. So we started from Web 1. Basically, these were static pages. Content is served from the server file, and pages were built. And then users could not interact interact with the web 1. Then we right now we are at web 2. Most of the applications are built on web 2. So you can be able to interact with the website. They are basically developed using APIs to allow you self-usage, such as by a software or an application. And then the main features of web 2 is that free sorting of information and permits users to retrieve and classify the information collectively. Then the content is dynamic and information flows between site owners and the site users by means of evaluation or online commenting. So most of this, on how people interact with the systems on web 2 is through commenting and chatting. That is chatting and and posting photos and uploading videos. So in web 3, a lot of things have actually changed. You can basically interact, communicate with the web, and also right now you can even do the social networking thing on the multiverse. Yeah. So Mark introduced the multiverse this week. So the web, that is actually web 3.0, and yeah, the website is the web 3 is semantic web. The semantic webs actually improves the web technology in demand, and the use of artificial intelligence, combining this capability with natural language processing in web 3. And then we have 3D graphics or three-dimensional design is being used widely in places like China. I think you guys have seen the TikTok videos of the 3D advertisement. That is part of Web 3.0. And connectivity with Web 3.0 is greater, and it requires 5G. And yeah, so the web is actually growing, and it's growing rapidly. And yeah, so we have to be updated. So we also saw the differences between Web 2 in terms of the social media, that is TikTok, Twitter, and a decentralized Twitter. And we talked about the limitation and scalability of Web 3. So we did a lot last week. And yeah, so today we are going to do even more. And this will be, actually, it will be interesting because we are beginning on the solidity. So by the end of this week, we will be as solid as solidity. But yeah. So just a minute. So we also, So we also did an introduction on the IDE that is used, and IDE that is used for creating or developing smart contracts. I want to share this link on the chat. I'll find my chat. So that is Limits IDE. It's an online browser that you can use to create smart contract and interact with it. So what you need is you need Metamask. So you will need Metamask for this session. Extension. So whether you are using Firefox or Mozilla or Brave browser, you can find metamask.io. Just let me paste the link on the chat. So you will have to install Metamask on your browser. And then you will also need Celo extension wallet. So you will need Celo extension wallet, this one. It functions the same way as Metamask. It does the same thing as Metamask. Yeah, so these are the tools that you will normally use. These are the tools that you will normally use when you are developing smart contract. Later on, as we advance, we will use or we will integrate our VS Code. For those who are already developing, we will integrate our VS with Solidity and such. Yeah. So with that, I'll do an introduction on what smart contracts are and why you should actually learn about smart contract and where you can be able to use smart contracts. So just a minute. Okay, so yeah. So what is a smart contract and why are they called smart contract? So so a smart contract is in simple is a program that lands on the either Celo blockchain or Ethereum blockchain, and it's a collection of code and data, that is functions. Just a minute. Yeah, so a smart contract is just a computerized transaction protocol that executes the terms of a contract. So it should have a function. It should have a function. So for those who were there on the last class, we talked about the functions, the different the ERC20 standards functions, and it must have a function, and it need to have a state or data that resides at a specific address on the Celo blockchain. So smart contracts are a type of Celo or Ethereum accounts. This means they have a balance and they can send transaction over the network. However, they are not controlled by a user. Instead, once they are deployed on the network and run as a program. So once you deploy your smart contract, you have no control over it. And that's why it's really necessary that when you are creating a smart contract, you really need to think and structure your smart contract in a way that once you deploy it, it won't have a lot of bugs. So smart contract developers are very meticulous and they are very careful when it comes to creating smart contracts, because remember that data or that smart contract will reside there eternity. So you really need to structure your code and your smart contract very nicely and neatly. Yeah. So smart contracts, you remember we talked about the two types of account. So we have the first account, that is the user account, the normal wallet that you create. And then we have the smart contract address. It's also another type of an account or an address. Yeah, and the smart contract resides in that particular smart contract address. Yeah. So smart contract can define rules like a regular contract and automatically enforce them via the code. That's why they are actually called smart contracts. So think of the way a vending machine works. A vending machine really does not really need any person to operate that vending machine. So if you want to buy a chocolate bar, like if you want to buy a chocolate bar from a vending machine, you don't have to go to the manager or something. The vending machine automatically knows that there is a chocolate bar that costs around 50 bob. So there are rules that have been embedded in that vending machine. So all you need to do is to input the right number of, or the right key code for you to get the right chocolate bar. Yeah. So to understand a little bit about the history of smart contract, we will have to go back to at least, I think, 27 years ago. By that time, I think Vitalik was just a baby when Nick Szabo was proposing the use of smart contract. So Nick Szabo, or S. Szabo, is an American computer scientist who invented a virtual currency called Bitgold. And in most cases, people think that he is the real Satoshi. In 1998, fully 10 years before the invention of Bitcoin. Yeah, so most people think that he is the real Satoshi. So Szabo defined smart contracts as computerized transaction protocol that execute terms of a contract. So he wanted to extend the functionality of the electronic transaction methods, such as the point of sale. So in his paper, he proposed the execution of a smart contract for synthetic assets, such as derivatives and bonds. And yeah, so in terms of even securities are formed by combining securities such as bond and derivatives. Yeah, so many of Szabo's prediction in the paper came true in ways preceding blockchain technology. For example, derivatives trading is now mostly conducted through computer networks using complex structural or complex terms of structures. Yeah, so Nick Szabo is actually the father of the father of smart contracts, and he really did a really great job, and he was very instrumental when it came to Vitalik implementing the Ethereum blockchain and creating the ecosystem, or the kind of infrastructures or technologies that we do have today. So Nick Szabo was part of the co-founders of Ethereum also. Yeah. So there are benefits of smart contracts, and the most benefit for smart contract in either of the blockchain, whether it's on Celo blockchain or the Ethereum blockchain, is that there is transparency of data. So the data on the blockchain is available for everyone to see. Also, there is efficiency. There is no room for misinterpretation or lost document. So the code is raw, is a popular expression that describes its behavior, this behavior that is. Then there is cost reduction, as there is no middlemen that are involved and they are cut out. The costs are significantly reduced as well. Then we have security because of the use of cryptography to secure the transaction, and also to prevent double spending. Yeah. So double spending is where a person uses the same coin twice, like for different transaction, and they claim that they have paid. So in digital currencies, that is the like of M-Pesa and everything, people do that, and they have actually introduced a lot of rules and regulation and standards to prevent the double spending. So yeah. So composability of smart contract is that smart contracts are public on the Celo and can be thought as open APIs. That means you can call other smart contracts in your own contract to greatly extend what's the possible. Yeah, so contract can even deploy other contracts, and yeah. With all this being said, the technology also have limitation. So one of the biggest limitation is that you have to meticulously create the smart contract. Any mistake on your smart contracts means that it will cost the company a lot of money in developing and deploying the smart contract again. So smart contracts alone cannot get information about real world events because they cannot send HTTP requests. So this is by design. Relying on external information could jeopardize the consensus, which is important for security and decentralization. There are ways to get around this using oracles. So yeah, then we have smart contracts in terms of security. Smart contract security technically works via the same concept as the security of any software. So you need to do coding, you need to do testing, you need to ensure, you need specialized security agency to actually audit your smart contract. We have different types of smart contract auditing firms. That is OpenZeppelin. OpenZeppelin is a very great organization when it comes to code auditing for smart contract. Let me share these. And even for blockchain security is something which is coming up and it's really popular. So and lucrative. So if you're able to learn how to do smart contract auditing, and well, you will be highly paid. Open Zeppelin. So OpenZeppelin actually provide a lot of they provide a lot of contracts that are already predefined or created that can help you. So if you go to their website, let me share this link on the chat. If you go to the website, you will be able to find different projects which have been audited by OpenZeppelin, and Celo is also part of the company that has been audited. And yeah, so if you are actually holding a coin or something and it hasn't, or a ERC20 token and it hasn't been audited, well, be careful. Be careful. So yeah, you can take a look at the website and see security audit. Under the security audit, you can be able to see some of the way the process they follow to do your audit, and then they later on publish the features that they have found. So these are some of the projects that have been audited of late, and we can see the entire blog posts there. So it's really interesting. Blockchain security is something which is really interesting, and yeah. So you can check it out and see the projects which have been audited. Yeah, so that is a list of all the projects that have been audited, and yeah, so this was when Celo was doing a hard fork this year on May. They had a donut fork, and they were audited a few times. Yeah. So that's it on the security part. Then writing secure code. So the very first step, I believe this is something that okay, in Web 2, you are kind of allowed to actually implement code which is not that much secure. But if you are a good developer, you should always consider security first. Yeah. So the very first step is to create a secure application. Starts from within. So you yourself have to be be transparent. You don't have to be those kind of developers who leave bugs in their code. Yeah, so the code itself, if the code is not created within the best programming practice, it widens the attack surface of a potential attacker. And also remember what you are doing. You are not just creating an application. You are not just creating a social media application. You are creating an application that will be dealing with people's money. So you have to be careful. You have to put that in consideration. So especially if it's accessible to the internet like smart contract, Ethereum or Celo has these guidelines. So we started with guidelines that guides people or assists smart contract developer to securely create good smart contract. And we mentioned the CIPs, that is the Celo improvement proposals. We talked about the EIPs, we talked about the BIPs for Bitcoin improvement proposals and Ethereum improvement proposals. So those are guidelines that you really need to take a look at when you are creating smart contracts. Then testing, you have to do a lot of testing. So code tests are another piece of the puzzle. They are essential for secure software. And there is a need for you to do a lot of testing. So this can be done on your own, but it's best to also consider experienced companies like Satic. So Satic also, they do have a coin, and they also do smart contract auditing, and they also help in the testing of your smart contract. So let's see their website. So this is their website, and you can actually take a look at the different projects that have been audited. So let me share the link. So again, if your coin is not here and you are holding a coin which is not available in these websites, then it means yeah. So these are the reading projects and how secure their security score. As you can see, PancakeSwap is at 94. Satic itself, it's at 93. Shiba Swap is at 88. The security level and the different market cap, yeah. So this one does a security check and security audit, the same as OpenZepri, yeah. So you can see different coins which have been audited here and which have been tested. So these other ones are in the Binance chain. That one was at Binance chain. You can check for Polygon and see. Yeah. So smart contract auditing does not only happen for tokens, it also happens for people who are creating dApps. If you are creating a decentralized application, it's using smart contracts. So your smart contract also needs to be audited, whether it's actually does the processes that you have instructed your contract to do. Yeah. So notice that I've really insisted on the security aspect, because this really costs a lot when you are doing a project for a company, or when you are doing a project for your own. It will really save you a lot if you consider all these security issues on your system. Yeah. So then we have ensuring the code. So there are companies which have started ensuring smart contract codes. So this is a really quite interesting angle to smart contracts. So smart contract failure insurance are coming up, and an upcoming solution that is Bridge Mutual. They could have covered the previously mentioned Harvest Finance hack. According to their page, insurance are known to be used in various areas like health, automobiles, or work, clients get insured to have a level of safety and their time spent in those areas. So with smart contract use lies up, companies really need to have to ensure their they need to ensure their smart contract, and it will be becoming more important, especially for companies with larger pockets, yeah, to avoid such cases of hacks, yeah. So lastly, there is this assignment. Please make sure that, okay. So this one should be research more on how Ethereum smart contracts can come up with a simple smart contract function or make a token. Just once we have completed, make sure you have, and also do more research on double spending. So this one is quite interesting. It goes together with the Benzonite generals program, the Benzonite general program. Yeah, it's also part of that. Yeah, so make sure you are able to see and take a look at these assignments, because they really help you to reflect and be able to know what you have actually learned about blockchain. Yeah, so that's it on the Ethereum, not Ethereum, but on smart contract. So let's dive into smart contract creation. So any question up to now? Hello, any question? Any question as we dive into Solidity? Okay, so Rachel says that she has no question. Anyone else who has a question or any concern, any comment or something? Okay, I think we can dive into Solidity. Yeah. So I hope you have these tools, that is Metamask and Celo extension, Celo wallet extension, this one, Celo extension. Yeah. So if you have them, well, that's good. We can continue. We can continue. So yeah. So what I will do, I will start by installing this extension. That is the process is the same. The process is the same, but I don't know. It's saying that it's already available on Chrome. So the process is the same for MetaMask and also for Celo extension. So it's saying that it's already available on Chrome. So I don't know. I think it's only available for Chrome browser. And it's only available for Chrome and Brave browser. They don't have for Firefox. So let me open my Brave browser. Let me just open Brave browser. We use Brave browser instead. So make sure you also have remits IDE. So you can use the other. This one is the old interface. This is the old interface, but we will use the new interface. So let me just open the Brave browser and then we can get started. Yeah. So how many of us have tried the code that we did on Friday? So anybody who tried the code we did on Friday? Prax, were you able to try out the few functions that we did? Hello? Hello? Hello, guys, talk to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so is there anybody who was able to do the few functions that we did? Okay. So silence means so I'll start by installing the plugin. So we have the Metamask plugin. Had not installed it on Brave, so this will be easy. So how many of us have been able to install Metamask and Celo extension?
I did. But
Yes.
is Celo asking for funding?
Yes. So to get funding for Celo, visit. Let me send the link if you want the funding. So go to Celo developers for sets. The link is on the chat below.
Okay.
Yeah. So anybody else who have been able to install? So if you haven't been able to install, just follow me. Follow what I'll do. Yeah. So once you have loaded the website for all Brave browser or Chrome browser, the two browsers, either Brave or Chrome browser, you will just add to Brave. Click on the add to Brave icon. So wait for it to download. So wait for it to download. And then once it has downloaded, it should pop up here. It should be available here. Well, if it's not available there, you just click on the extension here, and then you pin it. So you can pin it. Yeah. So let's just give it time to download. Yeah. So for those who have already downloaded and they have already installed, you can paste your Celo wallet here. You can paste your Celo wallet here and then you get started. So yeah, it has downloaded and it's asking me if I want to add the extension. So I'll just click on the add and it should be added. And should load and see. Should it, let me just try again. Add extension.